Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you all here this afternoon. We have 6 wonderful institutions who each will have 6 minutes to tell you a little bit more about their college or university. But I do want to make sure that you know how to ask questions throughout the session. You'll see that Q&A button down at the bottom of your screen. That is your go-to, and ask those questions at any point throughout the session. Do not feel like you need to wait until the end. Our college representatives are ready to type some responses to you throughout the next 45 minutes. Your camera and microphone are off, and they will remain off throughout the session. So really that Q&A is your best, most efficient way to interact with our college reps today. A reminder that there are more sessions in the following hour. So if you aren't already signed up for another session, feel free to check those out in the next time slot. And a reminder also that this session is being recorded and that the recording will be available at strivescan.com/WACAC, the same exact page where you registered within the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that recording as well. But with that, we'll go ahead and pass things off to our first institution of the session, which is Weber State.
Perfect. I will go ahead and start sharing my screen. Everything look good?
Yeah,
excellent. I'll go and get started. Hey, everybody. My name is Joshua, and I'm here to talk about Weber State University. A couple of housekeeping items is 2 things. My name is Joshua instead of Joshua, kind of confusing there, and it's Weber instead of Weber, another thing people get confused on. But if you mess that up in the future, you're already forgiven. Anyways, Weber State is about 25 to 35 minutes north of Salt Lake City. Here in Utah. My screen will go next. Okay, perfect. You can see here in the state of Utah, kind of where we're located. That's about 25 to 35 minutes north of Salt Lake City. We're a public institution with about 27,000 students enrolled in total, but have kind of a medium feel, about 15,000 students on there at a time. A big theme around the Ogden area is outdoors to downtown, or as we like to say, where the mountain meets the metro. Our campus kind of aligns itself with the northern Wasatch Front, so there's plenty of things to do. There's a resort on the other side of that very same mountain, and in terms of downtown, Ogden, Utah is actually the 2nd largest city in the state of Utah, so there's plenty of fun things, whether you like comedy clubs, or indoor surfing, climbing, all that sort of stuff, fun to do downtown and outdoors. It's no secret that we have a ton to offer there as well. When you get here on campus, getting involved is paramount to your experience here. We have tons of sports, athletic events, things to do in terms of getting outdoors. For me, I was here about 6 semesters when I graduated with my 4-year degree, and I had a goal to learn 1 new skill every single semester because I came out of state from Iowa. Iowa and Utah are very different places. So I learned how to ski, how to snowboard, how to whitewater kayak, raft, a bunch of these fun activities every single semester via getting involved on campus, clubs, and some courses I took as well. In terms of sports, we have 16 Division I athletic teams. Right now, our football team's 2-0 and ranked 2nd in the nation for FCS football. Our cheer and dance team have won nationals the last 2 times they participated. Softball is always top of our conference too as well. It's a lot of fun. We are the Wildcats, if you can make it out via our mascot there. That's Waldo. And apparently a group of Wildcats is referred to as a destruction. So our student section is called the Destruction Zone. All of our students get in to our athletic events for free. And not only for free, but you also can bring 4 friends with you. So if you have family visiting, feel free to bring them to the games as well. Our university is broken up into 7 different colleges. Some highlights within there is our health professions. Every single major in that college is a top 10% program in the nation. Our nursing in particular, which you can go all the way up into a doctorate to get, is actually a top 10 program in the nation as well. We're the top exporter of nurses in the state of Utah. Most nurses in this state came from Weber State, which is pretty cool. This kind of evolves into 225 different programs to choose from. I do not expect you to be able to read this on my slide. I just like to illustrate how many choices you have to go for your degree at Weber State University. Our out-of-state tuition and fees is as followed. That's quickly reduced as we consider stuff like the WUI. I'm sure you've heard of this term before, a quick reduction of tuition that you can easily get. But a lot of our out-of-state students are finding a lot of success with our academic scholarships as well. This is a simple metric where you line up your GPA with your SAT or your ACT, and you'll find yourself with a handsome scholarship anywhere from $7,500 to $9,000 a year for 4 years straight. So that can cut your tuition just about in half really, really quickly. Affordability is the name of the game. It's a matter of fact, one of the reasons I looked this direction for school. At the end of this equation, we want all of our students to leave with little to no debt. And this is kind of a top cocktail of things we use to get there. It's a lower cost, our academic scholarships, our FAFSAs our students get, private scholarships, and then lastly, paid internships and things like that. 60% of Weber State students have all of their education covered, and that's via a bunch of these different things. So make sure you're keeping an ear to the ground when you get on campus so you can be part of that 60%. In terms of housing, we have two different options, but firstly, the big questions I get from out-of-state students is, one, do I have to live on campus for my freshman year? And two, can I bring a car? The answer to that first question is no, you're not required to live on campus for your first year. And two, yes, you can bring a car. I myself lived on campus for all my years here at Weber State, both in Wildcat Village and in University Village, and had a very good time. It's a good way to get connected really, really quickly. And when you live on campus, you get $1,000 reduction off your tuition for your first year. We have Wildcat Village, University Village. The difference between the two, Wildcat is more of a suite style and University Village is more of an apartment style. So you can kind of figure out which one of those fits your bill more likely. Lastly, if you want to take out your phone and either take a screenshot or take a picture of your computer screen, here's my information to get in contact with me. Also, that link at the very bottom, you can go ahead and apply or book another appointment with me to talk about that later. So that's all on my part, but I appreciate your ears for a little bit, and I'm excited to push on to the next host.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Weber State. From here, we'll head on over to the University of Utah.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm going to start my show if it goes. There we go. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandon Gonzalez. I represent the University of Utah in Salt Lake City, Utah, the capital of the state. I'm going to present today a little bit of our academics and kind of scholarship and admission process, as well as ways to get in touch with me and stay in touch with the university on your college search process. Before I kind of get going on the sort of facts and figures, I wanted to kind of quickly take you around town to kind of show you what's where we're at and kind of what to see around campus. So again, we're located in downtown Salt Lake City. This upper right shot is the downtown shot. You'll see Capitol Hill right here. We are about 2 miles to the left of this picture. And then inside of downtown is the City Creek Bridge. City Creek is the shopping center in downtown Salt Lake. But what I wanted to bring to your attention is this really cool metro train station that's right underneath the bridge. Every student at the U has free public transportation to traverse the entire Salt Lake Valley. So if you wanted to get from campus to downtown, you can hop on our track system. If you wanted to get from campus up to Park City, which is about a 30-minute ride, you could do so on the public bus system, again, all for free. So it's a very connected area that we have right around campus. I mean, just off of campus, we have 11 world-class ski resorts only an hour away, and 5 amazing national parks. So students that really enjoy their time at the U really enjoy immersing themselves in all sort of things on and off campus that the University of Utah and the state of Utah has to offer in all 4 seasons. When you get to campus, this is what it'll look like. This is our 1,500 acre campus. As you can see, our backyard kind of butts up to the Wasatch Mountain Range, and our front yard faces downtown Salt Lake City. So really, it is in a prime position to kind of satisfy any sort of outdoor needs that you might have. And then when you attend the University of Utah, you get a lot of great stuff that most large universities just aren't able or aren't capable of saying that they have. So number one is that of all the majors and programs that we have, none of them are impacted. So any major that you want to apply for or interested in on day one, if you're admitted generally to the University of Utah, you've been generally admitted to that program, okay? So no impacted majors at all. Most popular majors tend to be in engineering, in business, nursing, some of our social sciences. Our dance program is world-class. So a lot of different arenas that we excel in. And again, you can decide that before you apply, or you can decide that once you get there. There is no pressure to have to figure that out before you start your search process with us. We are a largely undergraduate heavy institution. So 3 out of 4 University of Utah students are undergrads. Those are freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. It's a big school, yes, but with kind of small school sort of in-person resources like our student to faculty ratio, our average class size being under 30. I believe the stat is 65% of all of our classrooms have 30 students or fewer in them. So you're going to be able to have conversations and dig deep in research and work with your peers and professors. Most notably, though, is our research profile. So we are the only Research 1 level university in the entire state. We just recently were admitted to the Association of American Universities, which is the most prestigious group of higher education institutions in the country. All that equals over $600 million in research. And again, what I just said earlier, a lot of that research is available and supporting undergraduate student endeavors. So again, a very undergraduate focused large public university. And last but not least, of course, is our WUI scholarship award, basically. WUI brings your cost down from out-of-state tuition about $31,000 every year to about $13,000 every year just with WUI. And how do you get WUI? All you have to do is apply by our merit scholarship deadline, which this year was February 1st. And as long as you have a 3.0 or higher GPA and you're from one of the 15 WICHE states, you will actually receive the WUI award without having to do anything else besides presenting that 3.0 and higher GPA and applying by our merit scholarship priority deadline. When you, again, come to the U, a lot of friendly faces, a lot of young faces. I like the stat that, there's over 600 student clubs and organizations, and yet only about 8% of our student body identifies in some Greek affiliation. So again, it's a very connected, very collaborative student community outside of the classroom. And about 40% of our campus are students from outside of the state of Utah. So it's very geographically diverse, socioeconomically diverse, and I think it provides a college town sort of vibe that you get in our college city in Salt Lake City. And then these are just some of the things to keep in mind. We read holistically, meaning we factor in your academic profile with your personal profile. So there's not one thing that'll make you, one thing that'll break you. We are test optional moving forward for next year as well for any rising seniors, juniors currently. So that means that you do not have to submit an ACT or an SAT to be considered for admission or for scholarship. And the last thing, again, I would also like to stress is we are very generous with our scholarship opportunities. So nearly $100 million was awarded just last year alone in scholarships and grants. A lot of that did go to, yes, incoming first-year students, but a lot of that also was available to returning students. So I mentioned WUI as a great way to kind of bring down the cost significantly, $17,000 basically a year. But beyond that, when you get to the U, there's plenty of scholarship opportunities from different academic departments. And coming in from out of state, our residency program is fantastic as well. If you don't receive WUI, that's okay, because there's 4 simple steps to apply for residency in your first year. So that starting your sophomore, junior, and senior year, you gain residency, you're paying only about $9,000 of tuition every year, which the cost of attendance is basically tuition plus about $10,000 for room and board. So if you'd like to stay in touch with me, I'd like to stay in touch with you. My name is Brandon. I'm based here in Southern California, and my email address is right there if you want to take a screenshot or a picture. And with that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining us, and I'll pass it off to my next school.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brandon, for sharing a little bit more about University of Utah. From here, we'll head on over to Westminster College.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. My name is Alexa Price, and I am representing Westminster College in Salt Lake City, Utah. Westminster's 32-acre campus is located in the heart of Salt Lake City's eclectic Sugar House neighborhood, and you've already heard a lot about Utah from both Joshua and Brandon, which is wonderful. We all love it here. We have all the benefits of a large city here in Salt Lake with a thriving art scene and opportunities for internships and community service. And then there are hiking trails just 10 to 15 minutes from campus and ski resorts, and then also lots of state and national parks that are just a stone's throw away from campus. And Westminster is a private, independent liberal arts college where students benefit from multidisciplinary learning in an atmosphere dedicated to civic engagement. A liberal arts education allows students to explore other interests, broaden knowledge in areas beyond their majors. And it's more than just earning a degree. It's about opening your mind to possibilities, developing the skills you need to solve real world problems, and creating a meaningful life. And Westminster is a relatively small school. We've got about 2,200 students. About half of our students are from out of state. And as a private school, we have the same tuition as well as generous scholarships and need-based aid for both in-state and out-of-state students. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Westminster is a close-knit, supportive community, and it's a teaching first institution. So the average class size is 15 and the maximum class size is 25. So you'll have a really close relationship with your professors and your peers, and you'll never need to remember your student ID number because everyone will know you by name. Westminster has over 50 programs and majors, and some of the most popular are in nursing, business, performing arts, biology, and outdoor education and leadership. And Westminster also has a really strong customized major program. So there are students that choose to design their own major in anything from environmental entrepreneurship to healthcare marketing. Westminster is a member of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference and is home to 15 NCAA Division II sports teams, as well as some club teams. And Westminster's approach to education is holistic and includes excellent co-curricular programming outside of the classroom. So 85% of Westminster students participate in research or internships by the time they graduate. And here in Salt Lake, you can intern for a tech startup or with a local nonprofit or a larger company such as Goldman Sachs. The NASA Space Grant Program has funded biology research projects through Westminster's Great Salt Lake Institute, and Westminster offers some really incredible undergraduate research opportunities. Westminster has several programs geared towards students and their success as first-generation college students, such as the Legacy Program and McNair Scholars. And Westminster's Opportunity Quest gives students the opportunity to present entrepreneurial ideas to leaders in the community and compete for funding for those ideas. And then every other fall semester, Westminster offers the opportunity to participate in the expedition, where students and professors pack up books, camping gear, themselves into vans for a semester-long road trip around the West to 8 states. Westminster has about 40 clubs on campus, and those are student-led, and they range from things that are major specific to clubs that are more social in nature. And it's always possible to bring your own club to campus if there's something else that you'd like to see. And Westminster has a 2-year on-campus housing requirement for all first-year students. And so housing is guaranteed, and we want to build community for all students and for everyone to feel a sense of belonging. And living on campus is a great way to be able to do that. And we've got both traditional and apartment-style housing available to students. At Westminster, we care deeply about student success and well-being, and we offer a wide variety of student support services, including a lifelong career center, first-year learning communities, a veterans center, which supports Westminster's participation in the Yellow Ribbon program, a health, wellness, and athletic center, and lots of other services. And so back to scholarship, there are a number of ways students can receive aid at Westminster. All students are automatically considered for merit scholarships at the time that they apply. And students can also be considered for need-based grants directly from Westminster. And then Westminster also offers additional talent-based scholarships. And so those can come from participation in performing arts, athletics, and then Westminster's Honors College also has a scholarship available to students. And so a bit about applying. Westminster is a test optional institution. We have no plans to require test scores in the future. The application is free and there are 2 ways to apply. We have an application that's right on our website, and we're also a member of the Common Application, and both are great. It's whichever students prefer. And so we have a priority deadline of December 1st, and then we'll switch to rolling admissions from there. And so thanks again so much for your time. This is our admissions contact information, and I'll also put my email address in our chat box. So feel free to reach out with any questions. We'd love to connect with you. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Alexa, for sharing a little bit more about Westminster. Before we head on to our next institution, I do want to make a quick plug for that Q&A. And so if you have any questions about the institutions you've already heard from or about those that you're about to hear from, don't forget to send your questions through that Q&A option. But from here, we'll head on over to New Mexico State.
Hey everyone, I am Susan Metzler with New Mexico State University, and welcome to New Mexico. I see we're moving down from Utah, so I'm very happy to launch this. New Mexico State University is located in southern New Mexico. We are, of course, State University in New Mexico. We're a public university. We're a research university. We're also the Land Grant College of New Mexico. We also are a NASA Space Grant College, and we're home to the first honors college in the state of New Mexico. Although we're located in the desert and we have lots of sunshine, we are located in the Rio Grande Valley. So it is a large agricultural area. So as you can see from the picture behind me, that our campus is very, very green. We have trees, we have grass. People think southern New Mexico, they think desert. And while surrounding area is a lot like that, our campus is very green and lush and beautiful. We also back right up to the Oregon Mountains, so there are a lot of opportunities for anyone who is into hiking, mountain biking, trail riding. There are lots of horses in the area, so people will go out and go trail riding, camping. So we do have a lot of outdoor activities in the area. We are located, like I said, in Las Cruces, New Mexico, in the southern part of the state. We are right off the I-10. The closest major city to us is El Paso, Texas. That is, if you did want to fly into campus, you would fly into the El Paso, Texas airport. We have over 300 days of sunshine. And in the town of Las Cruces, it is a college town. We were named the best college town in New Mexico for the 2nd year in a row. It is a smaller city, even though it's the 2nd largest. There are only 100,000 people in the Las Cruces area, in the city of Las Cruces. In the town, they have like festivals. They close streets off and have, music and food trucks. We do have a large film festival every year. There are like little shops, little things that you can do. And of course, we have the regular thing that you would have in any area, like the Targets and the grocery stores and all that kind of stuff. So everything you really could want is right here in the Las Cruces area. We do have students from all 50 states and 89 countries. We have over 200 student clubs and organizations. We do have Greek lights on campus. We have like a beautiful 900-acre campus with just over 14,000 students on campus. We do have D1 athletics. We're part of the Western Athletic Conference, and our average class size is only 27. We are known as the Aggies, and the reason we're called the Aggies is because we originally started back in 1888 as an A&M university, and the A stands for agriculture, which is one of our large schools at New Mexico State University. We are a best value college. We're ranked 12th for engineering. We are a top tier university, and we are number 2 in the country for social mobility. We do have a lot of first-gen students, and we do have so many different support programs that are going to help any student, but especially those first-generation students, make that transition from high school to college. These are our 6 academic colleges: our College of Agriculture, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences, Arts and Sciences, where we do have some of our very popular majors, like our Creative Media Institute, Criminal Justice, chemistry, biology, also journalism and broadcasting. We also have our College of Business. Within our College of Business, we have a PGA Golf Management program. We're one of only 18 colleges in the country that offer that. We do have our College of Education, and in our College of Education, it does house our kinesiology and athletic training programs, which are very popular. And then we have our College of Engineering, which is one of our original colleges, and we're very well known for our aerospace engineering programs. We also have our College of Health and Social Services, and the most popular major in this college would be nursing. And we do have our honors college. Now, what is it going to cost you to go to New Mexico State University? We have tons of out-of-state tuition discounts and scholarships, including we are part of the WUI. So if you're in a Western state, which you are, you would automatically get the WUI tuition discount. You don't have to apply for it. We don't have a cutoff for it. If you live in one of the states in the West, you automatically get that tuition discount. There are other tuition discounts you can get too. You can get an out-of-state competitive student discount, which will bring you down to in-state tuition, but you do have to have at least a 3.5 GPA, and we do need a ACT or SAT test score for that one. But on top of the tuition discounts, we also have scholarships. So each student can get one tuition discount and one merit scholarship. So it really makes New Mexico State University a very affordable option for out-of-state students. Here are our costs. You can see it here. If I can move this over a little bit. So students in the WUI states, their tuition that they would pay every year, tuition and fees would be $11,279 a year. If you qualify for that out-of-state competitive student discount, it's just over $8,000 a year. So what are our freshman requirements? We do have automatic freshman requirements. If you have at least a 2.75 cumulative weighted GPA, you'll automatically be admitted. Or if you have an ACT of a 21 or an SAT of a 1060, you will automatically be admitted. Or if you're in the top 20% of your graduating class, you don't need all three, you just need one. We do not require ACT or SAT scores, but they can help you. So if you do have them, we ask you that you submit them, but we don't require them. Now, if you're a little bit under one of these, we will look at your application holistically. Like I said, we have D1 sports, Western Athletic Conference. These are our Division I sports that we have for men and for women. And for anyone who is in the state of California, just so you know, we do not have any impacted majors. Basically, you apply, you pick a major, and that's what you can study. Our closest airport is in El Paso, Texas, and we do have a free shuttle. So we will pick you up at the airport. And yes, freshmen can have cars on campus. That's my contact information. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Susan, for sharing a little bit more about New Mexico State. Next up, we have St. John's College.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Natalie. I'm very excited to be here with you today, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about St. John's, and I will put my contact info in the chat so you guys can reach out a little bit later. So I'd like to do a sort of a step back. If you are looking at this, here's a list. It is not exhaustive to all the qualities of students that we attract at St. John's, but here are some things that a lot of our students have in common. Speech and debate, mock trial, those students who kind of consider themselves a divergent thinker, who have their nose in a book, who maybe play D&D or live action role playing. So if you've answered yes or to maybe two of those, I invite you to consider that you might be a Johnny. So St. John's is kind of unique. We have one college with two equal campuses. So I'm located in the New Mexico campus, but we also have a campus in Maryland. So we're teeny tiny on the scope of colleges. We are a liberal arts college with 800 students between the two campuses. So it is a little bit different than many places you might be hearing about. This is a photo from our Santa Fe campus. So the next colleges you're going to hear about are all New Mexico State, St. John's, and UNM. We love it in New Mexico. Santa Fe is at 7,000 feet elevation. So we do have skiing, as was mentioned. We're at the southern tip of the Rocky Mountains. It's an amazing art market, lots of mountain biking and rock climbing. Our Maryland campus is the third oldest college campus in the United States. It's right in the historic heart of Annapolis, lots of little coffee shops and ice cream places, and of course, things like sailing and croquet. So our St. John's kind of distinguishes itself by its academic program, which is entirely inquiry-based. This is a Socratic seminar approach that you may have heard of. We do not have lecture halls, and the classes are all between 14 and 19 students large. So you really do get to know your fellow classmates, but also your faculty. We use primary texts, and basically at the end of 4 years, everyone graduates with a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts, and you touch upon history and philosophy, literature, economics, mathematics, and science. So a little bit about student life. We have over 40 clubs and activities at any given time. It's really easy to start something, or you can just join an existing organization. These are some, again, sort of a sample list of ongoing organizations and, student government, there's theater, of course, and lots of intramural sports. So a little bit about what others are saying about this. May be the first time you're hearing about St. John's. So Forbes magazine calls St. John's the most rigorous college in America. Princeton Review and US News and World Report also rank us highly for our professors and classroom experience. So you also may be wondering, what are you going to do with a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts? Like, this all sounds great, but can I get a job? That's a good question. So just some statistics to share with you. 100% of our students got placed last year in 2020, and that was sort of the worst job market ever. There's a couple reasons for that. One is that they do well on standardized tests, even though we're not test oriented. So on average, our students did score in the 92nd percentile on law school applications. We also just provide a lot of one-on-one support to our students. We think it's important, and we think it's important that you have support figuring out what you're going to do next. So whether you go to graduate school or whether you go right into the work world, we have internships, we have job shadowing, and just that one-on-one assistance starting your freshman year. And we have, this is just sort of a sampling, we have alums in all of these areas: finance, business, astronomy, psychology, music, and even a winery or two. So a little bit about financial aid. We have always been test optional, and we continue to be test optional. We are really interested in who you are as a person. So you can apply through the Common App, you can apply through the Coalition app, you can apply directly through our website. But what we really want to hear about is who you are as a person, who you are as an inquirer, an intellectual sort of adventurer. We want to hear what your thoughts are, and we want to hear about, how things impress themselves upon you. We really want to hear what you're passionate about. So we have fantastic financial aid. We are a 4-year private liberal arts college, but our financial aid is incredible. We have about 20% of our students are first gen, and another 21% are about Pell eligible. Over 70% of our, actually close to 80% of our students do receive financial aid, and it's typically a mixture between a merit-based scholarship and need-based scholarships, neither of which you have to pay back. So this is a little parting shot of this is from the dock on the Annapolis campus. This is probably like, I don't know, less than a 5-minute walk from campus. So beautiful. And this is a shot from our Santa Fe campus. We have about 270 acres right in the hills of Santa Fe, and students like to go up here and study, and there's a swing, and it's just a great place to hang out. Here's my contact info. You're welcome to take a photo of that. I'm happy to meet with families, meet with students one-on-one or in a group. You can always reach me by email or phone. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Natalie, for sharing a little bit more about St. John's. And now, last but certainly not least, we will head on over to the University of New Mexico.
Righty. Well, thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate that. If I can freeze my screen there. So I'm going to talk about 3 things: students, parents. We're going to talk about mountains, majors, money. And I went to the University of New Mexico. I graduated from the University of New Mexico, but I don't live in New Mexico. I actually live in Ventura, Southern California, actually kind of central, because I cover all of California, Nevada, and work with those students. But whenever I ask somebody, what do you know about the University of New Mexico? I always hear UNM. Unfortunately, not much. So let's start with location. UNM, University not close to mom. Look, you're leaving Southern California, Northern California, Nevada, headed towards Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I know the minute someone hears Albuquerque, New Mexico, they start either thinking Breaking Bad, High School Musical, or the desert. Flat and hot. We're not. We're in the Rocky Mountains, so think UNM, University Next to Mountains. You'll see a little bit of snow, more than you typically get in California or Nevada, but I always say UNM, usually not much. Albuquerque, not a giant city, not a tiny town, and I always say just right. And the campus itself, well, there you are, UNM, University near the middle. 5 hours from Carlsbad Caverns, 3 hours from Colorado. Denver, a short 6-hour drive. The Grand Canyon, 7 hours. Look, you're probably thinking UNM, University near much to do, both in the city and around. Let's talk about the size of the campus. UNM, University of a nice medium size. We're on the semester program, so you go to school from late August to mid-December, 5 weeks home for the holidays. Classes were on campus both last fall and this spring at 30%, and with great optimism, we'll be fully operational all on campus come this fall. Guess what, students? We have over 200 different majors, and you're probably thinking, UNM, University of Numerous Majors. I know some of you are interested in engineering. UNM, University from nuclear to mechanical and everything in between. Chemical, civil, computer, construction. Look, maybe you'd like to build something rather than hear about it. Let's do it. We're a do-it school. Business, UNM, University with a number of management programs, a dozen different management majors. Architecture, nursing and UNM, University for Nursing and Medicine, the largest hospitals in the state of New Mexico on our campus. Health sciences, maybe you're into the music scene, UNM, University Now for Music. If you're into film, Netflix is headquartered in Albuquerque. That's our studio. We share a fence line with our partner, Netflix, and you're probably thinking UNM, University for Netflix Movies. Maybe you just don't know. My degree from UNM is actually 2 of them listed here, Econ, Anthro. And when you don't know, then come to us and say, UNM, undecided, no more, come explore, options galore, we'll open the door to something you're looking for. Research and honors college. No one ever came to college and said, hey, I want to hear about it. You want to do it? That's New Mexico. We have the honors college, small courses. Guess what? We're going to get you ready today for that big tomorrow. UNM, University for Now and Mañana. We've got over 400 different clubs and organizations, D1 Fun, free tickets to basketball, to football, all the home games. Students, maybe you're thinking about study abroad. It's a great option. I'll never forget my Italian experience. The classes were in English, the nights and weekends in Italian. National Student Exchange, I did my senior coursework, some of it at UCSB. So you could be enrolled at New Mexico and taking courses at another school for a semester, study abroad in America. Housing, UNM, University Nice as Marriott, $600 a month to live on campus. Dining, UNM, unlimited number of meals, 24/7. You want the freshman 15, once you're done with the quarantine, come see me, Gary B. Think about ROTC, UNM, University for Navy, Marine, Army, Air Force. We've got all those, and that can help pay for college. But speaking of pay for college, we are, again, part of the WUI, as the other schools mentioned today. And just think, the COA is $35K, but that's not what you'll pay, no way. With a 2.8, you're paying less than a typical Cal State. And with a 3.0, you get even more dough. You're probably thinking, UNM, you need money? They've got scholarship. Gary B, how do I get it? Well, guess what? You can apply any time. We do rolling admission. And juniors, it's fine if you get rolling on it now, or I always say you can apply as early as June. This summer, you would be admitted, not committed. Wouldn't it be nice? Hey, Alexander, what'd you do this summer? Well, guess what? I applied to the University of New Mexico, got admitted, and I've got an option. Wow, got a $60,000 scholarship. You're going to UNM? I don't need to decide UNM until next May. Apply this summer, decide next May. That's the way to play, I say. We don't require the ACT. We're going to get your transcript. We're going to see the courses that you've done. Here's the total cost. Students from California and Nevada with a 3.0, your tuition and fees, housing and dining, books and supplies ends up being $20,000. And right now you're probably saying, that's just crazy, Gary B. Nope. Listen, Juniors can apply in June. It's not too soon. Do it online. It'll save you time. Use your phone. Do it at home. Either way, the end of May. Then email me, Gary B, and I'll waive the fee. I'll make it free. Send your transcript. Don't worry about that test, and I'll do the rest. 3.0, big dough to help you go to New Mexico. Don't be a fool. Stay in school. It's cool. Go to college. Get to knowledge. Gary B, remember me when you're making that list. UNM, University, not to be missed. Just for Isabella, dapping out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. That was wonderful. What a way to wrap up our session here. I think we do have time if all of our representatives want to turn their video back on. I think we have time for one question for all of our institutions to answer in the same order I think that they presented makes the most sense. So why don't, as everyone's turning on their video, I'll give you a few more seconds here. Let's have everyone chime in and share a little bit about their favorite event or tradition on their campus. I think we'll give Joshua a second. Brandon, if you want to hop in for University of Utah.
Yeah, for sure. So I think a couple really cool traditions. One is like a famous hike called the living room hike. Apparently, some students up in the mountains created a bunch of furniture out of rocks. So basically, you take off from campus and you climb up the mountains, and you have this most, when you get to the top and you sit on the couch made of, again, boulders, you have this most magnificent view of the Salt Lake Valley area. So that'd be one. And then another one would be trying to see all 5 national parks before you graduate, because again, the state of Utah is such an outdoor friendly and sort of enthusiast kind of culture within the state. So I would say students really maximizing all of those beautiful natural resources before they leave is a bucket list for them, for sure.
Westminster, why don't you go while Joshua seems to be hopping back in here?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things is our weeks of welcome. It always takes place at the start of the year, and it's just got something for everyone from like, we do like a series of college hack nights where you can learn all kinds of things, and then like rock climbing nights. And I know we've done like this past year, we had like a socially distanced late night movie night on the soccer field. So really anything that you can think of just to get to know people and be able to get to know the college. That's one of my favorite things. And I think for students, it really helps them find their community on campus.
Absolutely. Joshua, you ready?
Yes, sorry, I lost connection. Is the question about traditions on
favorite
campus?
Favorite event or tradition on campus? Yes.
Perfect, yes. So this one's easy for me. The first time I ever went to Weber State was my first time having ever been in Utah. Sight unseen, I came out to the university. So we have what's called a Weber Welcome, which we send all of our new freshmen out camping for the weekend before classes start on Monday. So you get to camp with the people in your major. So you have friends of yours that you can know for the rest of your 4 years that you can study with and stuff. It was just a good way to get introduced to the university. And every homecoming week, we hike Mount Ogden, which is the mountain our campus is on. You can kind of see it behind me here. That's another really, really fun one.
Awesome. New Mexico State.
One of the things that I really like is first year walk, and that is all first year students. We have kind of like a big pep rally on campus, welcoming them to campus. And then they basically kind of go through on a parade across campus with the marching band and the cheerleaders and our mascot, and everyone comes out of their classrooms and offices and claps, and they walk through our historic Miller gates, and it's really welcoming them to the community. And then when they graduate, they do the same thing in reverse. So I kind of like that.
At St. John's, we have, so I have a couple favorites too. The welcoming week too. One of the things that we do for welcoming week is all the staff, and including the president and faculty. We do a pancake flip. So we actually make pancakes for all the students, and the dining hall always makes a few extra because their pancakes are always a little better than ours. But it's really fun, and so we get to kind of welcome the students with a pancake flip. And then another tradition we have both campuses at the end of every semester. There's something called a collegium, which is big music. People can sing and play piano, do a rap, like do a cover, do original composition. The whole community comes out, has dinner, and then we adjourn to sort of the Great Hall, and we listen to everyone's performances. So it's really fun.
One of the great traditions at the University of New Mexico the first week of each semester is free food for kids. And I mean, we start with Magnificent Monday, beautiful Taco Tuesday. I'd go back to campus just for that. Wonderful Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, hot chocolate and sodas for the students, and then Fantastic Friday. So students, think about what you're thinking about. Hunger. Come on down to University of New Mexico.
So yeah, thank you all so much for sharing a little bit more. I think that wraps up our session today. That's about what we have time for. Before we end our session, I do want to just give a big thank you to all of our representatives here who each shared a little bit more about their institution. Really appreciate your time. A big thank you to you all for joining in the audience as well. A quick note that you will see a very quick 4-question survey appear on your screen as soon as this session ends. If you don't mind taking the moment to fill that out, it helps us get some feedback on these sessions as we continue to plan moving forward. A reminder that this session was recorded, and so if you need to return back to any of this information, you'll be able to find that recording at strivescan.com/WACAC within the next week, and that there are additional sessions happening here in the next 15 minutes. And so if you want to check those out, feel free to sign up for some more. But once again, thank you to our college reps. I hope that all of you have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.